Impromptu? Is that how you spell impromptu? Okay, oh god. I am actually not convinced that that's how you spell impromptu. That doesn't look right. Hold on, let me check dictionary.com. While the dictionary.com app is starting up, hello everyone and welcome back. It's your host, Michelle, aka Chat-Mort, and thank you for returning once again to my humble little channel. This is, as you can see, whether it is spelled correctly or not, which I'm... the jury's out. The jury's out on that. This is an impromptu stream. I am completely nervous and virtually terrified out of my mind because I've not streamed in so long that it feels really weird, and I'm just, it's one of those things I need to do it often or I get really freaked out. So I apologize in advance for this being probably as awkward, if not more so, than my first ever stream and the few original streams. Let me see how you spell impromptu. Impromptu. Okay, I don't know why it didn't look right. Anyway, welcome. No! Why are you here, Hatch? What? Okay, look. The thing here, bucko, is that I've never tried Twisted Tea before, so I bought a 6-pack at the gas station, which is totally not a completely basic bitch thing to do, and I decided I'd try it. So, yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna let me share the link. I want to at least tag my patrons in a tweet and let them know that I'm on here. I feel pretty awful about, I just totally like wiped the dust off of my phone screen with my boob on camera. I wasn't thinking about the fact that there are people here. Sorry. I feel, oh, shut the hell up. I hate my own voice. Okay. I feel awful, let me just say, because I have not been very good with my upload schedule whatsoever. Like, at all. It's been so long since I've streamed, and I feel pretty poopy about it, because streaming is so much fun. It's relatively easy as far as just, I mean, production is not as hard as other things, although being entertaining, as you can see by this dreadful example, is harder streaming, but it's easy, it's fun, it's a great way to be able to connect with you guys, so I apologize for getting out of the habit, and I fully intend to get back into it. What is happening with my hair? I don't know. Okay, give me a minute. What am I doing here? How do I share a link? Twitter. It's opening Twitter. Okay. Okay, give me just a moment, you guys. I apologize. I want to, I mean, nobody's gonna get here in time because I'm just dreadful at this, but I want to at least tag everybody and let them know. I'm gonna tag you, Hatch, because you're one of my patrons and I want you to know I'm streaming, okay? Here we go. Okay. Okay, it's just not gonna finish? Okay. Hold on. And... okay. Okay. Nope. That's fine, actually. Okay, cool! Hi. Alright, let's get this started, since the whole point of this stream is to figure out if this is any good. Oh boy. This is... ouch. Okay, so I do not, in fact, have a bottle opener with me, but that's not necessary if you've got like a napkin and a washcloth, a napkin or a washcloth, and the desperation for alcohol to numb your pain. So, ooh, this smells good. There's a goddamn centipede on the wall. This is a bad time. I'm so sorry, everyone. So, this is actually not too terribly bad, I guess. It's not as good as I thought it would be. I love peach tea. I believe this has 5% alcohol content, which is wholly underwhelming, but that's okay. It's better than nothing, I suppose. Man, I'm gonna do nothing but stare at that nasty little centipede guy. Is that an earwig? Earwigs are literally the only thing worse in the world than centipedes. Nazis? No. Yeah, they're jerks, but have you seen earwigs? Gross. So, I don't have a specific topic to cover here, because I haven't done this in forever, and I'm nervous, and I'm exhausted and stressed out from all the stuff going on in my life. And, I guess I was kind of apologizing because I have not been on much at all. Over a month ago now, I just completely ghosted everyone, or I flaked out, I believe the term is. I just stopped talking to everybody, as far as anything to do with political commentary, social commentary, anything like that. Yay, hi! I apologize for letting you guys know at the last minute, but I'm glad you were able to make it, dude. But, yeah, it wasn't a conscious decision to just, like, ditch everybody, but it happened, and it was completely shitty and inexcusable of me. I did a very poor job, but I sort of attempted to explain to everyone what was going on briefly, but not nearly well enough to excuse just kind of disappearing. There were a lot of streams that I tried to watch regularly, and I tried to interact with the different communities and fan followings that people had built to try to be supportive, and I just kind of stopped doing that, which is not cool at all. I tried to make it clear on Twitter specifically that if any of you guys ever want to get a hold of me for any reason, this is about the 8 billionth time you've heard me say this if you watch my videos, but I want you guys to know seriously, if you ever want to get a hold of me to talk about anything, please don't hesitate to. I don't mind at all. I'm terrible at getting back to people because I'm so anxious about... It's just really scary talking one-on-one through DMs or anything like that, or, you know, private messages on any site. But I want to do my best to get back to people, and I will get back to people eventually, and even if I'm not really going out of my way to engage in commentary and, like, debates and dialogue on Twitter itself, about politics, I still am on there frequently. I still try to respond to everybody who talks to me, you know. So I just want to put that out there, and I'm trying to ease myself back into being involved in the community, whatever you want to call it, you know, but it's slow going and it's taking a little while. So I just wanted to point that out. Twisted tea is passable. Kind of like sweet tea that has been sitting a bit, that has sort of sour note to it, yes. That's what turns me off about it. It's been a while since I caught one of your streams. I think you've changed your username since I last saw you, because I don't recognize your username actually, dude. But thank you for being here, and hi. Yeah, I don't mean this as an excuse. I'm just babbling because I'm nervous and I haven't done this in so long. I've had a lot of hectic stuff going on in my personal life. I've alluded to it, but we're moving soon somewhere else. It's a good thing. It's a good location as far as work and everything that's going on. It's a good thing, but I don't want to move just because I'm really attached to where we are now, and because we've only been here for so long, and I don't feel like we even got the chance to settle in here. But that's coming up. I'm actually part of a wedding for one of my loved ones soon, so preparing for that and helping out has been exhausting. I have some friends that are actually moving out of state, which is kind of crazy, and there's just been a lot going on, and I've been dealing, of course, with my depression and stuff as usual, and trying to figure out how best to cope with that, and just trying to learn how to adapt to that, and trying to figure out how to get over it and trying to figure out how not to let it control me has been actually taking up a lot of my energy. So I don't mean any of those things as excuses. There's no excuse for me just like vanishing, you know, from all of the groups of people that I were trying to be supportive of, that I was trying to be supportive of, grammar. And I don't want anybody to feel bad for me necessarily, but I just want to explain where I've been, and I'm hoping that it won't be too overwhelming and it won't make me feel too depressed or insecure or any of those fun things that happen when you get too absorbed in the internet, if I very carefully and in a measured manner ease myself back into everything. I have toothpaste on my nails. It's not toothpaste. See, if I'm scared, it's going to focus on my nails and then it'll never come back here. But I think this is funny. It's completely random, but I got, I don't know if there are any Five Belows where you are, but Five Below is a store, just like a cheapy store like Party City or like the Dollar Tree or something like that I think is all around America, and it might be international, I'm not sure. But at Five Below, all their products are, as you might have guessed, they're $5 or less. And I actually have a ton of nail polish I got from this place just because it's like pretty decent quality, but it's all $5 or less. Like I have a freaking ton of nail polish that I got from this place. A ton. Like this is just some of the stuff I've gotten from there, and it, like, you would think that it would be lower quality stuff. Most of it actually isn't, but like this stuff is cool. This nail polish, I'll show you guys sometime. I'll like put a video of it on Instagram. But that stuff that I just showed you is actual like mood nail polish. Like it changes shades pretty drastically when their temperature changes, and I wore it a little bit this past winter and it was really cool. I'm trying to see, I have a ton of nail polish from that place. Like this stuff too, if you couldn't tell like what my favorite colors are from the fact that it's all I wear, it's also all I have as far as nail polish. Hello Nemo. Yeah, I freaking love this color, dude. But anyway, this stuff, this garbage, Funky Fingers nail polish. It doesn't even say what, like a shade anywhere. And I mean, it's definitely washed out just because of how bright my screen is reflecting here, so you can't really see it, but it's this really nice, almost like it's this delicious, like, chewy, like, Play-Doh-y color, which doesn't make any sense, but it's this really nice, like, deep kind of vivid, saturated, like, aqua color, or so I thought. So I buy this crap because I'm like, it's pretty, it's $2. And I tried to put it on my nails. The first thing I noticed is, if you can't tell, it's really kind of crappy and transparent almost, and it's full of glitter. So my first thought is, well, I'm wearing nail polish that you get in a 75-cent goodie bag that you buy pre-made and then give out to your like little second grader friends at a birthday party. And my second thought was, oh, this is literally toothpaste. Like, the consistency of this stuff, when I spread it on my nails, it's so gooey that it takes it like 5 minutes when you like put a brush stroke of this stuff down for it to like lay down, to like harden and settle. It's bizarre. So I felt like I was literally putting toothpaste on my nails, and I have toothpaste nails now. That's that whole story. That's all that was going to come of that at any point. I need new nail polish. Do you? You've been in and out of court for tax evasion. Spicy. Other than that, been good? Good. And the cats are throwing themselves against the door because it wouldn't be a stream if the cats weren't throwing themselves against the door. Please remove anime slideshow. Nemo, I can't even do it, dude. It's not all anime. It's just my favorite characters. It's an anime / gaming / weird cult classic television show slideshow. Yes. You know, the further into this bottle I get, the better it tastes, I must say. I wonder why. Okay, maybe maybe not exactly. Use fingernail polish to brush your teeth now. I might someday. I don't know. I've yet to discover how low my lowest lows are, so we'll find out. But yeah, I did snazzy, is it not? I updated my little autistic slideshow here. I included more of my favorite characters. I did take away the Glob Glow Gab Galab. I mean, I can bring him back, but he outshines me so much that I feel like he's a little much, so I hid him for this stream just to kind of feel things out and see what kind of setup we want here in OBS. And I wanted to tell you, Nemo, it's funny, like, we got in the argument because you're saying incorrectly that Ahsoka is the most important Star Wars and or Clone Wars character, and I'm saying General Grievous because I'm right. And I was thinking about that, and I'm like, I think we had this exact same argument like a year and a half ago, and it's probably just going to continue until the end of time. We'll just forget and then keep arguing. It's a slideshow of my favorite characters, and yet Nemo isn't in it. You're real, and it's creepy and weird to stan real people. We don't do that here. Otherwise, the entire slideshow would just be Keanu Reeves and Jeff Goldblum, which is creepy. But yeah, I'm here. I'm here now. It's fine. I am here. Ahsoka is way more important. Yeah, she's more important to the plot, but Grievous is like, oh my god. Oh my god. I love Grievous. I have, like, wanted Grievous to, like, saw me apart with his double-ended lightsaber since I was, like, 6. Like, I've had a crush on General Grievous probably since I first started having a crush on Jeff Goldblum, which is really sad. Like, what the hell happened to me when I was little that I've blocked out that those are the things that I'm attracted to from a young age. You have real people in the slideshow, though. No. I have people playing characters. Aaron Paul is playing Jesse Pinkman. Gillian Anderson is playing Dana Scully, etc. They're not real people. They're the characters being portrayed by the real people. Aw, there's Vlad. That's a good point. I don't see Kasame in the slideshow. Is he even... My god, I might not have Kasame in the slideshow. Holy shit, that's bad. My god, that's an excellent point. I'll have to add him in. Yay! How are you? How are you, Sauron chick? I missed you. Yeah, I was telling everybody, I just did this. I know Nemo's a character. I don't mean that. I mean you, Nemo, not Nemo. Never mind. I just did this kind of at the last minute, and I apologize for doing it so last minute. I was going to stream this weekend, and crazy stuff happened. A bunch of unexpected things happened, and I did not get the chance. On top of my delicious migraines that I'm having nonstop. So, yeah. I didn't get to. I was really excited to, and it just didn't happen. I just woke up, need my tea. Well, aren't you fancy? I have tea, incidentally, Sauron chick. It's pretty good. I like it. No, Nemo, Grievous is in the slideshow. Unless he's like a PNG or something weird that OBS doesn't like. Grievous is totally in this slideshow. Unless you guys are screwing with me to see how drunk I am already. And Grievous and Kasame are in the slideshow. But I don't think so. Let me see. Oh, boy, look, boyfriends! Aw, that's so cute. I mean, we're 20 minutes in. It's a little early to devolve into me just, like, cooing at fictional characters on my screen. But what can you do? Also, I wanted to show you guys something. Unfortunately, I know what Etsy is, so that's really bad for me because I'm getting cute things on Etsy sometimes. And I wanted to show you I ordered these gorgeous little Yu Yu Hakusho stickers. Oh, there's a glare on Hiei, my baby. I love Hiei. See, there's Grievous. I thought I was gonna get like a ton of these, but I got 4 for $10. But they're still beautiful. Yusuke's back there. He's just being overshadowed by Mr. Sword Get Long. But those are adorable, and I adore them due to the fact that they are, in fact, adorable. Add Ahsoka to the slideshow. I shan't do it. There was things I was gonna say. I don't know what they was. I got another thing. This is not from Etsy. This is in fact from Dollar General or something. Oh no. Flash flood warning, really? That's spooky, G-Money in the bank. I don't know what region you're in, but I know there's been some insane precipitation going on. In my region, there's been a ton of rain, which is good because we kind of had a drought for a while, but it's pretty freaking scary when you get like a flash flood, you know. I've been very lucky. I've always lived in slightly higher elevations to where I didn't deal with any flooding. When I was little where I lived, our backyard would just be a river though, like down the hill from our house. It was, I mean, it was scary, you know? And where I live now, our backyard is lower than the front yard. And from time to time, if there's a lot of precipitation, there'll be like 2 to 3 feet of standing water in our backyard. It's unreal. Like, I don't know, with as old of a building as we live in here, how our basement doesn't flood. I mean, I shouldn't jinx it by even saying anything, but I already have, so anyway. Just be safe, my dude. Put on your little arm floaties and hope for the best. This stream is going quite well. I think this stream is going well. So these little fellers, these are, I tore the sticker off, but I believe they are mini adventure pals. And if you cannot tell, it is a plastic, god damn it, it's a tiny plastic egg full of tiny dinosaurs. And I'm gonna get them out of the egg now. Yay! Tornado warning now too. Holy shit, dude. Please. Oh, dinosaurs everywhere. Like, don't screw around with tornadoes, please, G-Money. Like, if you can play on your phone while you're somewhere safe, do it. But, like, if you don't mind, if you'll excuse me going into, like, nagging, condescending mom mode, please, for the love of God and all that's holy, go in your basement. If you don't have a basement, go to a bathroom. Go to the room with the most piping you have in your house and just hunker down there and pray for the best. Because bathrooms and rooms that have a lot of piping tend to stay far more intact than the rest of the rooms in houses because they're grounded, you know, because they're rooted into the ground. It's been piss pouring here in Oklahoma. It's like 45 degrees too, causing lots of hail and tornadoes. Maybe it's the end of the world. We can hope. Tornadoes are weak. I don't know about that. Only pussies are afraid of tornadoes. Bitch, that's not very nice. I'm terrified of tornadoes. I've actually been terrified of tornadoes since I was wee little. I have had nightmares about Nemo. Don't tweet your garbage at me. This is harassment and I won't stand for it. I think my fear of tornadoes started because of the babysitter I had when I was little. Wait, what? Tornadoes in Oklahoma? No. Yeah, I might tell you guys about this babysitter someday. Just because I don't think any of her family is around here anymore, and she's not around here anymore. And if I'm going to continue going down this dreadfully ill-informed path of just oversharing all about my life to the point where I'll never be able to do anything that requires credibility or, you know, the image of sanity. She contributed a lot to some of the issues I have. Nothing like what Worski's babysitter did to him. I hope. But yeah, this babysitter that I had when I was little was, she had some great traits and she had some really bad traits. And I was lucky enough that before my parents got divorced, they could actually afford to pay a babysitter, a nanny. She wanted me to call her nanny because she was kind of from a different era, and she was used to being very wealthy and very, very fancy. She didn't work a day in her life. Her husband was extremely wealthy, and she wanted to be called nanny because she was fancy, and I don't know what the hell she was doing in Ohio babysitting me of all people, but that's, some fancy people end up in bad places, I guess. Anyway, yeah, she could be kind of mean, kind of wrathful, and she actually had a lot to do probably with who I am today and some of my weird issues. So yeah, I might at some point actually go into some of that if I ever get like real deep into the destroying any chance at credibility I might have had, you know, type psychological issues, just for the views, for the likes. But she described to me from a very young age what tornadoes were. I mean, I knew a little bit about what tornadoes were from my parents telling me, obviously, because where I live, it's a fairly frequent threat, not as frequent as like Tornado Alley area, but particularly in the area where we live, there are a lot of flat areas where tornadoes can attempt to start, you know. And I remember her telling me in great detail about tornadoes and about the signs that tornadoes are coming, which were pretty much all accurate. But I was wee little, and I was absolutely terrified out of my mind by this information that was completely useless, because my parents would know if there was a tornado coming before I did, and so would she, so I don't know why I as a tiny child needed to know the signs. But I think her description of tornadoes and how frightening and ominous she made them sound is part of why I'm so scared of them. I think that really scarred me psychologically, because to this day, I have just horrifying nightmares about tornadoes. Just bad nightmares. So yeah, I don't know what that makes you guys think of me, but holy shit, I'm terrified of tornadoes. We've had like 2 touchdowns in the past week, but we get over 700 a year in the States, so it's no biggie. See, I feel like that's quite the biggie. Like, I don't care how many you have, it's still terrifying. And I know the thing that I try to tell myself and comfort myself with is, like, right where I live, we live in a very, very flat area where you can see everything for miles around. So I see a ton of tornadoes attempt to start, you know. You see like that eerie, that strange, just the very eerie sort of tornadic rotation. You know, you'll look up at the sky and it's so dreamy and ominous and powerful and silent, but you realize like the clouds further away from you are moving one way and the clouds closer are moving the other way, and you're like, uh-oh. And then I've seen several times where I live, just standing in my backyard, when just slowly this divinely perfect circle forms, and you can see like the rays from heaven shining down through the clouds, and you can see the rotation in the clouds, and you're like, uh-oh. And then, as my babysitter described it when I was wee little, and it scared the shit out of me, it's like you see, it's like God pushing his thumb down through the clouds. You slowly see as the clouds begin to get sucked into that funnel of air. Oh my god, it's scary. I'm scaring the crap out of myself, quite frankly. But I always try to comfort myself by reminding myself that if I'm seeing those form, it takes quite a while for a tornado to build momentum. Most of the time they don't anyway. You know, it's very few of them that actually get to be like, what, half a mile wide even. It's the debris that is probably going to kill you, not the winds themselves. So if you are right where a tornado is forming, you're probably I don't know why I didn't even block the burp. I just like made it go all around instead of forward. Whatever. Like, you're probably several miles like upstream of where it's actually going to pick up enough momentum and debris and just power to be able to, you know, do any real damage. So I try to comfort myself by thinking that, but you know, I still live in kind of the same area where I grew up. So I've got a lot of friends around here. I've got some family around here. So even if like there's no bad weather around where I am, or if the bad weather is somewhere else, as long as it's like in the state, there's always somebody that I'm gonna be worried sick about. So I don't know. I think why tornadoes are so like compelling to me and why they so deeply disturb me. Oh, hi Philip. He's gone now. Is just because they're beautiful and graceful, and it's that thing that happens so often in nature. It's this graceful yet utterly terrifying, awesome power, you know? It's just mesmerizing and captivating, and if it's gonna come get you, there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Sorry for all the swearing. Hello, Kenneth the Kentucky fam. Sorry for getting back to you late. I'm just rambling. Yeah, and yeah, thanks, GamingJones. Yeah, this is indeed a snowball. It's just a snowball ice. Blue microphones. That's what the words say. Yeah, it's just a snowball. Oh my god, my foot is asleep and I'm so uncomfortable. Just one moment. Oh my god, it hurts. Help! Oh, here. I'm smart. You guys enjoy the lovely fellow over yonder. While ow. I sat on my foot and now it's stuck. Like it's stuck to my leather chair. Yeah, it's a snowball mic. And I did not want a white one. I wanted a black one because it looks better. This is just a whatever puff guard. I don't know what it's called specifically. You guys just enjoy the glob glow gab galab while I struggle to get my foot out from under myself. This is a bad stream. This is very not good at all. Ow! Help! Oh my god, that hurt. You're great, lady. I'm not, but thank you. I read that sucked by a tornado, and now I gotta look up Rule 34. Well, I'm sure you'll find something. If you're not too traumatized, report back and tell us what you found. I died in a tornado once. I believe you. I saw the video from storm chasers from an F5 tornado starting up, and it's like what you described, but the whole sky was rotating. Holy shit. That's terrifying to me. Like, it's terrifying. Like, to this day, I have nightmares about tornadoes. And it's just awful because not only are you scared about yourself if there's a tornado coming, but I'm terrified for my family, for my friends. You know, sometimes you can do something to prevent yourself from getting hurt. You know, if you get in your basement, if you get toward like the side of your basement where the tornado is coming, so the debris will go past you, and so you're hopefully cushioned sort of by the ground around you, things like that. But sometimes they're so powerful, sometimes there's so much debris and destruction that you're gonna get killed no matter what you do, and that scares me. I'm gonna be a professional and mute my mic while I have a coughing fit, okay? Yeah, it's so scary, G-Money. Oh my god. If you want to watch a phenomenal channel, watch Base Hunters Chasing. Base Hunters is the best channel of storm chasers and their footage I've ever seen. And I think there are a couple different teams that like contribute to them, but if you watch some of the old videos by Base Hunters, they get phenomenal footage of different storm fronts and tornadoes forming. But what's so cool about them, even cooler than that and even more fascinating, is just the interplay between the people in the, like, storm chasing crew, like in the team. Just the way they talk to each other is so funny. Like, I mean, just their demeanors, that little tiny, like, snippet of their personalities and of the dynamic between this group of people that you are privy to when they're all yelling at each other, desperate to get the best footage they can, you know, to sustain themselves through their livelihood, but also desperate to not get freaking killed by the storm by taking a wrong turn, you know, or doing something 2 seconds too late. Just the, I don't know, the angle of humanity you get to see in people when they're balancing those two needs, and just the way they interact with each other. This little group of storm chasers is so funny and so endearing. Like, they're crazier and more outlandish than any fictional characters. And, like, this is some of the older Base Hunters videos, but I love watching their channel. Their storm footage is phenomenal, but I like that almost more at times. Why the heck you Yanks are not sleeping yet? Because we don't actually... You should know, like, we're just a bunch of imbeciles. We stay up till 4 in the morning, and then we whine all day and can't figure out why we're tired. That's what we do. This is like watching a 12-year-old stream. Thank you, sir. Seeing it has never been the scary part for me. It's that sounds like a full-blown freight train is going by and you're under it laying on the tracks listening. Oh my god, yeah, that scares me to death. Just the... I mean, nature seems so, like, docile most of the time. It's so peaceful. And then for just things like heat and cool and air to be able to twist and form into something so powerful that it's like a deafening, massive freight train coming toward you. Just the fact that something so gentle and peaceful can also turn into something so awe-inspiringly, terrifyingly powerful is amazing to me. I think that contradiction is part of why it's so freaky and interesting to me. Okay. I'm dying. Watch. You spelled watch wrong. The Venom trailer. It has Tom Hardy. I will. Not right now. Is that tea in a beer bottle? Essentially, yeah. Yeah, it's this stuff called twisted tea. I have a couple good friends who usually drink it when we hang out. I've never had it before, but it's very, very low alcohol content. It's basically just tea. It's like the tea that you can buy in glass bottles. It just has a tiny bit of alcohol in it. It's not very good. It's extremely low alcohol content. But this is the peach flavor, and I love peach tea, so, you know, peach tea and alcohol, like, what? Can't go wrong with that. Surely you can't. You guys should see the Ralph Retort stream sometime. GamingJones, does he... See, I don't know much about him. Tech Support husband watches the Ralph Retort sometimes. I think... Wait, is that the guy I got in a fight with on Twitter and he unfollowed me? The Ralph Retort? Probably. I don't know. Does he leave his streams up after he does them, GamingJones? Because I know a lot of people just don't. They do their streams and delete them, and I'm like, you imbecile. Like, how am I... My thing is, I like watching streams later. I like watching streams when I'm the only one at work, when I'm doing the dishes, when I'm doing my makeup, stuff like that. So when people delete their streams and, like, only this cute little exclusive gloop, oh my god, this cute little exclusive group of people who happen to be there when it was live, like, they're the only ones who get to enjoy it, that's a bunch of doo-doo, in my opinion. There's nothing the U.S. can't ruin. Now they ruin tea. Yeah. I'm not super... No, I'm not super impressed with this stuff. It's not terrible, but it's not very good. It's probably just the peach that isn't very good. I could put a sugar packet in it. Sugar packets fix everything. Man, that earwig or whatever it is, he can just go screw himself. I hit my ring light really hard trying to flip the bug off. That's good. That's good. It's very good. He leaves them up. Okay, see, I thought he did streams kind of like, what's the annoying guy that Tech Supporters Bando watches? Joe Rogan, like the kind of podcast type things where you leave them up. That's good. I'll have to watch him. You need to watch ASAP. I'll watch it. I'll watch it, Nemo. I'm trying to think. Somebody on, I don't remember who it was, but somebody on Twitter was saying like that, like, why was Tom Hardy, or why is Tom Hardy so bad as Venom or in Venom? And I'm like, what? But it hasn't come out yet. They just didn't like the trailer. But I'll definitely look it up. Venom is the one who everybody draws boning Spider-Man, right? I don't know anything about Western superheroes. Can you tell? It's just not very good, period. Yeah, it's not. No, not very good. Watch Venom now. See, my dude, the problem is I can watch the Venom trailer now. I can. I might right now. But the problem is I have not memorized how to do everything on freaking OBS. So, I don't know how to put it on here. And even if I could, I'd probably get copyright stricken. So, here. I'm gonna just gingerly reach around my Twisted Tea. Venom trailer. Do you want me to just watch Venom trailer, Nemo, or do you want me to watch Venom trailer 2? The one with 66 million views from 3 months ago, or Venom trailer 2 from 16 hours ago? It's gonna be very underwhelming. I'm just gonna sit here kind of tipsy and silently look at the screen with my headphones on. But I can do it. I love going back to catch streams. In fact, I wish I could set you to 1.5x speed right now. I know. As long as it takes me to get to a point, you'd have to set me to like 5x, 5 times normal speed to get me to talk at a normal speed, or like get to a point at a normal speed at least. The newest one from today, number 2, hee hee. Yeah, okay, give me a minute. I'll take a peek at it. I don't know. Yeah, this is not, oh, it's bitter. I don't like it. Oh, I'm salivating everywhere. Somebody out there is pleased that I said that and I'm doing it. Okay, give me a minute, you guys. I'm gonna do this stupid, I'm gonna watch this stupid thing. I'm gonna watch it. Also, look at my cute little Philips headphones. They're really neat. They fold. Foldy folds. See, they fold like that, and it's cool. And they're really soft. I have this problem where, my head is stupid, so headphones hurt it horribly. I don't know where my other headphones are. I had these really, really cool headphones, that I just got, and they were really, really nice. They had a long cord, a really soft cord that was like shoestring material, you know, so it didn't get kinked like these. But if the little cushions on the headphones are not super, super soft, within like 30 minutes my head is pounding so bad from being squeezed by headphones that I have to take them off and take a break. I'm just a weenie, man. I'm just a weenie. I'm gonna sit here tipsy. How's that any different from any other of your streams? Hey, sometimes I don't consume alcohol. Sometimes I'm full-on intoxicated, not tipsy. My head is stupid. New t-shirt idea. Yeah, I like that. Kind of sounds like an Invader Zim reference of some sort. Okay, I'm gonna watch the stupid trailer. Give me a minute here. Okay, I'm watching the thing. Just talk amongst yourselves. Tom Hardy's a very homely fella. Like, he looks like everybody's heroin addict uncle. Well, he looks constipated. Who's that man? Oh. The goo touched his giblets. He's spooky. Oh, the lady's in it. That kind of boring lady. Is that a wig? Probably. The world does indeed have enough superheroes. Interesting. Okay. It's pretty compelling until the, like, faux humorous scene toward the end. Interesting. Okay. I don't know how I feel about that. Number one on Twending, is it? Did I say Twending? Oh dear. That's interesting. It definitely looks better than most of the superhero movies that I've seen, or any of their trailers. That was a really good trailer too. Things are happening. Okay, things are not happening. I'm not distracted. I'm here. I'm awake. I'm alive. That was very interesting. I'd probably see that movie just because it does look a little bit different than the norm as far as the Marvel universe, or is that DC? I don't know. Hashtag react. My react was just sitting here drunkenly, not doing much of anything. More tea. Yay. It's not easy to understand what the dude or Venom says. Bad English. Yeah, Tom Hardy's voice when he's not in his strange little face cage, it's weirdly squeaky for a guy who looks like that. I don't know. I feel like Tom Hardy needs to take, like, voice lessons or something just to learn how to, like, I think Tom Hardy talks the way I do. Like, he kind of just, like, gently honks through his nose, where he needs to learn how to make his voice resonate from deep within his chest diaphragm area. Like, I don't know. That voice seems strange coming out of him. But it's interesting to see him in a role where he is actually... his acting is actually somewhat relevant. You know, I mean, his acting mattered when he was Bane, obviously. His acting mattered when he was in Mad Max and the few other things I've seen him in. But there's a difference between actually having to play a character that everyone can see and having to play a character that is mostly concealed by prosthetics and various accessories, and a character that, it sounds silly, but it seems like the character he's playing in Venom is less theatrical and less sort of fantastical and absurd than, say, Bane or the unlucky fellow he was in Mad Max. You guys are talking real fast. It's bitter and not sweet enough because a northerner tried to make sweet tea. They don't know sweet tea. Yeah, it's just sort of like not sweet tea. Bane was amazing. Bane was gay. I did not see the third Christian Bale Batman movie after I saw it in theaters. And the first one I've seen a couple times. The Dark Knight, obviously, I've seen like 15 times, and I haven't seen it in a couple years. I'd love to see it again another 15 times. I don't remember. What was the last one in the trilogy called? The Dark Knight Rises? I don't remember much about it other than the impressions of Bane that everybody does, honestly. Tom Hardy is British. He knows how to speech. It's an American accent. Yeah. Everybody's British. Everybody who is an actor is British. It's a conspiracy. I'm convinced that everyone is British who does any kind of acting whatsoever. I don't know. I haven't seen Mad Max Fury Road, actually, since I saw it in theaters, which is sad because goddamn, that was a phenomenal movie. But I haven't seen him in a lot, actually. Rewatch it. It's probably better than the rest. You think so? I don't know. That's definitely a movie that I would go see. It kind of is reminiscent of the Christian Bale, like, Dark Knight trilogy, just because it is darker. I know that the very spooky, edgy sort of vibe from, like, the Christian Bale Batman movies, for example, is it's a kind of a reach, you know. It's a pretty far departure from the sort of silliness and lightheartedness of the actual comic book characters, but it definitely resonates more with me than the silly, like, upbeat sort of superhero stuff that goes on. And I think, see, I don't know. I think it's probably better not to try to be, like, super brooding and serious. I think that's why a lot of recent superhero movies have fallen flat. And despite the fact that I thought it was terrible, the fact that Spider-Man Homecoming was so wildly, uproariously popular with people is an example of the fact that you don't have to be super, super serious to be a good superhero movie. But I think that the movies that embrace that very dark vibe and don't just try to be, like, sort of boring, stoic grown-up movies like Man of Steel and stuff like that tend to be more effective and more compelling. And obviously they've got license to do that with probably a bit less criticism from fans, since Venom is a bad guy, correct? So it's a shape-shifting, parasitic Borg-like organism, Borg/Unity-like organism. Yes. Spider-Man Homecoming is literally My Hero Academia, but better. Nemo, I don't know where you live, but I'm gonna find you, and I'm gonna hit you over the head with a mallet tonight. Modern movies suck, that is all. Always such a contrarian you are. I think there's some phenomenal movies that have come out in the last few years. Stark is All Might. Go to hell, Nemo. How dare you talk about All Might like that? And I love Tony Stark as a character. I'm gonna take this feller away here. He's distracting me. He's definitely outshining me. I liked Robert Downey Jr. a lot. I think before he got into the whole Iron Man thing, and I mean, I think the Iron Man movies are okay. I think his like, interpretation of Tony Stark is very charming. From what little I know, I love the first Iron Man movie, but just the fact that they became so wildly popular kind of ruined it for me, as well as the fact that the second one was not very good at all, and I haven't seen any since then. I think there was one, like, Avengers movie that my mom guilted me into seeing with her, obviously, that had, you know, Tony Stark in it. But I definitely liked Robert Downey Jr. more before he became, like, this sensation. But he's a very talented actor. I didn't like the atrocious, like, screeching, writhing, failed abortion of a Sherlock Holmes adaptation he was in with Jude Law. I was disgusted by how dumb that was. Like, it was an okay movie, but just if the movie is nothing like the Sherlock Holmes mysteries, save for the names of the characters, just name it something else. You don't have to screw up Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's characters by besmirching them with your goofy, flashy action movie. Just rename your characters and stop pretending they have anything to do with this classic series. He lives in Texas. Flash Thompson is literally Bakugo. Is he the Flash? I'm using context clues here, you might see. Don't dox me, bro. It's just that they all seem to be entirely based around one action scene or sex scene, and the plot is intended to just explain the transition between the two scenes. I suppose so. I feel really bad because I just feel bad because so many people love, like, this superhero thing, and I wish I did. It's ironic that I can't stand the superhero thing, but I freaking adore One Punch Man. And All Might, who is, like, the most all-American superhero of all time, is, like, the epitome of daddy to me. Oh my god, I love All Might. But it just does not resonate with me. I've said it a million times, but I think the reason why I don't really care for the conventional Western superhero thing is because from a very young age I loved anime. And when you are conditioned from a very young age to enjoy and relate to and be emotionally invested in characters that are so outlandish, just normal, like, Western superheroes are very, very flat in comparison. And it, you know, just from a very young age, it was before I was in kindergarten, I remember I would get up early in the morning to watch Zoids and Hamtaro, and just what compels me is completely crazy, outlandish characters, just completely unbelievably strange characters, and I don't know, I crave that. I need the eccentricity, I need the absurdity, and that is not something it's just not something delivered in superhero stuff. I like action and sex scenes, but they should be based on the plot, not the other way around. I agree. Hold on a minute. Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I don't mind violence in movies. I love some extremely violent movies. I don't mind sex in movies. I don't mind sex in movies. But what I don't like is when it's insulting and patronizing. What I don't like is when it's transparent that the writers don't know how to write a story. So they're trying to distract you with the flashiness of the action and violence, or the sexiness of the sex. Like, if the action and if the sex forward the plot, if they're relevant, if they're necessary to the story and compelling, like, if you care enough about the characters and the setting that you want to watch the sex scene or you want to watch the action or violence, that's totally fine. You know, if it's done artfully and if it's relevant and necessary to the plot, that's totally fine. What I don't like is when you can tell it's very transparent that the writers think they have to put some disgustingly graphic sex scene in something that isn't relevant to the plot or character development whatsoever, just because they think there has to be a sex scene in everything, and because they don't know how else to fill the time and make it interesting enough for people to keep watching, you know? Same with violence. Do you watch One Piece? I did watch One Piece when I was a little bit younger. I have not watched One Piece in a long time. I have the first 15 I act like I'm a casual fan. I have like the first 15 volumes of the One Piece manga. I really liked One Piece at the start. I loved Shanks. And I really liked the first 3 like battle story arcs. I loved the Black Cat Pirates. Was that what they're called? I don't even remember anymore. I loved Alvida and her crew, and I loved Buggy the Clown. Was that his name? See, I don't even remember. I loved the Black Cat Pirates, Alvida, and Buggy the Clown. Like I loved when they encountered those 3 like crews. And then after that, it just wasn't quite as interesting after that. I didn't care for Usopp as a character. I loved Sanji actually, but after that it didn't hold my attention as much. It felt kind of monotonous. And I know people still love One Piece, and I respect that, but I have not been into One Piece in a long time. Literally watch Man of Steel and think of it as an anime. It literally works. It literally doesn't, and you're literally dumb, sir. Superheroes are literally Americanized anime, especially that one. Doesn't like flashy action, gives anime a pass. No, my dude. No. No, you listen here, punk. If the action contributes to the plot, I may or may not be drunk right now. If the action contributes to the plot, if the action matters, if the flashy, whatever, action or violence, if it has to do with the plot, if it forwards the plot, if it has a purpose in regard to the plot and the character development, it's okay. I don't mind it at all. What I don't like is when, and I think what Nuvi, do you pronounce it Nuvi? Please let me know, dude, because I see your name all the time, and I never know whether it's Nuvi or Nuve. I kind of, one or the other, probably. What I don't like is when there's sort of like a flashy action scene in something, and what I mean is typically like CGI stuff in movies, and that's the whole point of the movie. Like, when you can tell everything has been cobbled together around the action scene, that 3/4 of the budget was spent on, you know, generating and creating graphically, that's what's not okay to me. You know, like, you have to build up the plot. I don't care how good the CGI in your movie is. If the plot isn't compelling, I don't care who's exploding. I don't care who's being murdered. You have to make me care. You have to make me invested. And I think audiences are losing that. I think people's standards are lowering progressively as far as what they consider to be entertainment. But it just has to be more than that. Like, I love writing. I'm obsessed with fictional characters. Like, can you freaking tell I'm obsessed with fictional characters? Nuvi. Okay, thanks, dude. I appreciate that. But I just, it has to relate to the characters. That's a good grammatically good sentence. Everything has to center on the characters. Or the plot. I prefer when a story is built around the characters, because I think the characters are the most important and most compelling facet of any story, whether, you know, it's in manga form, whether it's a TV show, a movie, a novel, graphic novel, whatever it is, webcomic, anything. And, you know, if like an action scene, if the visuals are are like the centerpiece of the plot, if that's like the main staple of the story, it's just not compelling to me. Don't make me come on stream and argue why I'm right. Okay, I won't. How far did you watch One Piece? Hi. I'm trying to remember. I watched One Piece further than I... Well, you know what? I don't remember. I read the first 15 volumes of One Piece, I think, before I decided that I wasn't super into it anymore. You know what? I'm not sure. I mean, I watched a little bit of One Piece before Toonami was done away with and then brought back. I know there was the girl's name Vivi, who was just Nami with blue hair, and she was like part of a race of blue people, and she was the princess or something, and they had to take her home. And I remember Chopper, the little talking reindeer feller. I don't really remember. I don't remember how far into One Piece I got. I watched it intermittently, but not like regularly, for quite a while before I was just like, I'm not really into this anymore. But I'm trying to think. I watched it further than I read, because I have the first 15 volumes of the One Piece manga. Having a third CG act as a climax has been done very well, especially lately. If you go into the movie not wanting to care, then the film can't force you to. Well, then guess what, fool? My crippling depression is going to make me not care about any movie ever, so there. Infinity War had one of the biggest action set pieces ever, and the core is very much about the characters. Well, that's fine. Dude, you've heard my reasoning. Your reasoning may be perfectly valid. There's probably a lot of compelling character development, but the other thing, and because you care so much and because you're so analytical, I feel like you're owed an explanation from me instead of me just being childish and insulting toward things because I don't care for them. The thing that I really don't care about when it comes to Marvel, Infinity War is all Marvel people, right? The thing that bothers me the most about that, aside from just sort of the superhero format not really being interesting and it not really resonating with me, is that I don't like having to watch movies that aren't interesting to me to get everything. I don't like that you have to watch every single Marvel movie because all of those little subplots are going to be prerequisites for you to understand this movie, where all these characters from previous movies show up. I don't like that. I don't like the blatant condescension, the obvious heavy-handed, insulting marketing tactic that is, you have to watch literally every other movie that we've ever made, whether you like it or not, whether you think it's worth spending your money and your time on or not, or you're not going to understand this stuff. I cannot stand that. I will not be condescended to like that. I won't do that. I won't be a part of that. And that's the main thing I don't care for about this stuff. You know, I do not like that at all. As a viewer, as a consumer, as an audience member. Nuvi said, Wizard of Oz spoke about having conversations with his characters a long time ago. Imaginary conversations, of course, but he says it gets him a feel for how they would behave in his situations. That's really cool. I'm trying to remember. Did he say that in a video? Because I feel like I watched that at some point. If he made a video where he discussed that. Yeah, interestingly enough, I saw something recently that was really cool, that was a very interesting way, I think, to sort of explore and get acquainted with your own characters. I think because all characters are, at least to some extent, based off of people that we know, or off of even just archetypes or whatever that we know, there's always going to be something about every character you create that you don't know, that is left to be discovered by you. Because a lot of characters, whether you realize it or not, that you create are reminiscent of and reflections of actual people you've known. So a lot of the time, the characters you create have things to reveal to you. There are facets of them that already exist that you do not consciously know are there, you know, in your creation of them. And I've been following a series. It's not done yet, but I follow Oni NG and Psychic Pebbles and that group of people, Spaz Kid, etc. Chris O'Neill is Oni's name. Hot chocolate is better than tea. Well, okay. You get me some twisted hot chocolate and I'll try it. That sounds sexual and I didn't mean it that way. Pardon me. Yeah. What was I saying? There's a series that I've been following because Chris O'Neill promoted it. It's a series that hasn't even started yet. Like, the pilot is almost done. The pilot of the show is coming out next year. And it's an animated show for adults, and it's called Has Been Hotel. It looks really, really cute. I already bought merchandise for it, which is stupid and flies in the face of everything I believe in, because I don't know anything about whether it's a good series or not. I try not to get invested in fandoms before there's actually enough content out to get invested in. But what can I say? The characters are cute, so I bought some merchandise. Did you enjoy that? Some asphyxiating ASMR? I bet you did. I bet you enjoyed that a lot. I'm not intoxicated. You're intoxicated. But this series Has Been Hotel. They've released like character profiles. They've released at least one trailer for the series, and they've of course publicly announced who the official casting is as far as the voice actors for each character and things like that. It's a completely crowd-funded show, I believe, and I think it's just going to be on YouTube, but it's going to be an internet-based series. The pilot's coming out next year. And something really cute that the girl who created the series and the characters did recently, her name is Vivian Madrasso, I want to say, but her like internet name is VivzyPop. The thing that she did recently that was super cute is that she did a live stream on her channel where she was drawing one of the characters. She has done a lot of live streams and like time-lapse speed paints and things on her channel, and her art style is just so gorgeous and charming and unique. I love that. But what she did is as she was doing this live stream and as she was drawing different pictures of this character from the upcoming Has Been Hotel series, is that she had one of the producers of the show act as that character and do the voice acting for that character and answer the questions that the audience was giving in the chat as the character. So it was really, really interesting because he would have to kind of stop, because this guy who was doing the voice of the character for the live stream is not the guy who's actually been cast as that character. So he would have to stop periodically and ask her, VivzyPop, like what this character's answer would be to certain questions. So this character, she was having a conversation with this character because her producer was doing the voice of this character as if he was there in the room with her, during the live stream where she was doing digital drawings. I hope I'm explaining this well. We'll see tomorrow. But it was interesting because, one, the impression that they were trying to give you as the audience was that this fictional character she has created was sitting in the room with her as she was drawing him. So she was, in a way, conversing with the character, because she was conversing with somebody doing the voice of the character as he was acting as the character. And the other thing is that since she was taking questions from a live audience that were directed toward this fictional character she created, it was prompting her to think on her feet about what this character's answers would be to all these questions that she quite possibly never would have come up with, or never would have thought to ask about this character herself. So I don't know necessarily that that was her intention with this live stream, but it was really cool because the way she set it up, having this guy do the voice of the character and answering questions from the live stream audience as that character. One, she was physically in the room with this fictional character she created and was interacting with him. And two, she was being challenged and prompted to look at all different facets of this character that would never occur to you as just a single person, because she had thousands of people watching and asking questions, asking this character questions that she, as the creator of the character, then would have to think of the answer of. And that was a really, really rambling and coherent way of saying that whether that was the intent or not with that live stream that Vivzy Pop did, it was so cool. And it was such an interesting, unique exercise in fleshing out and rounding out and strengthening a character more that she created. It was so cool. The character's name is Angel Dust, and he is he's a demon in hell because Has Been Hotel. The series takes place in hell, and he died, I think, in like the 40s maybe. And he's a spider demon gangster gay porn star. And he's one of my favorite fictional characters of all time. I think as soon as the pilot actually comes out and I can see whether it's written well whatsoever or not, Angel Dust will probably end up here in my goofy slideshow of favorite characters, because so far I really, really like him. But yeah, one of my issues when it comes to my writing, one of the reasons I constantly am just like vomiting out fan fiction nonstop, is that I cannot muster enthusiasm and love for my own fictional characters. Like, a huge portion of my life, a lot of the time, the reason why I have not killed myself is because I have completely immersed myself as a defense mechanism, as a form of escapism in fictional worlds. Anime, different cartoons, different book series. A lot of my life, as like fragile as I am psychologically, I had to immerse myself in completely falsified, completely fabricated fictional worlds to survive. Because reality was something that was so excruciating to me that I couldn't stand it. Hi, Philip. I love the Wraith. He's down here. Hi, Philip. Aw. So I owe a lot of who I am today, and the fact that I'm even here today, to fictional characters, people who aren't real, created by other people. And yet I cannot muster love or enthusiasm or even confidence in my own characters. And the guy who was the dean of the college I went to for a while, he kind of acted as my mentor for a time, my like writing mentor. And I met with him, and we talked a lot about writing, and he thought that was very odd to me because I just cannot have faith in my own characters the way I do in other people's. And I think that is just a reflection of my own lack of self-esteem, my lack of faith in myself. But I just think I need to draw more from people I know in real life. Not necessarily from any one person. Like, a character can be a conglomeration of different people that you know or know of. But I think just the fact that I try and conjure characters out of nothingness is why they feel so sort of vacant and just sort of superficial to me. I think that's part of my problem. I like that this stream has gone all over the place and has no continuity whatsoever. Are you calling me has-been? I most certainly am not, good sir. Spider porn start? You better believe I already think I know who I'm gonna ship in Has-Been Hotel. I'll be one of the first people on the freaking ship when it comes to the characters that I like and want to have together. I will be capitalizing on that fandom and the fan fiction writing potential as soon as that pilot comes out. Drink less, woman. You just come over here and stop me, buddy. I dare you. Please no kill yourself. Don't worry, I'm doing a lot better lately. And I don't know if I actually mentioned this. Like, I did a recent video for any of you who don't know on my mental health and how much better I've been doing lately. But I'm actually feeling better than I have felt since I was little. Like, seriously. There are a lot of stressful, just like circumstantial things going on in my life that I am having a lot of trouble dealing with and are just big, scary, difficult things. So as far as circumstantial things, yes, there are things that I'm scared about, that I'm discouraged by, that I cry about and confide in my loved ones about. But like, as far as my overall average, like, mood, energy level, level of hope versus hopelessness, etc., enthusiasm and engagement with life, as opposed to just feeling like I'm trapped in it or watching it pass me by, I've not felt this good since I was little. And it's just been this steady incline of me feeling better and better as far as my mood, my energy level, my desire to stay alive, to like see tomorrow. I've been getting better and better, and it's freaking weird, dude. It's a weird feeling, but a good feeling. So I've definitely had some pretty severe struggles recently. Late last year and the beginning of this year were very, very bad, but I think the fact that I got to such a bad, dangerous place mentally was a catalyst necessary for me to decide to put in the effort to start getting better, you know, to start making the effort to start exercising a little bit, eating a little bit healthier, confronting the scary things that I had always hidden from, stuff like that. I think it was a catalyst necessary for me to start doing the actual work that I needed to do, and for me to start taking responsibility for the things I need to be responsible for in order to ever actually get out of the level of crushing depression that has defined and controlled me for years. Please write fan fiction of Ahsoka defeating Grievous. I shan't do it, good sir. My bro, his 3 sons, and his girlfriend stayed with us for 3 days. That's cool. Gave me a first edition Magma. His pal wrote the book. That's really interesting. Oh wait, that actually happened. Shut up, Nemo. I'll fly to you on a tornado. Dude, that would be so freaking cool. Not only would I invite you into my house and let you drink all of my tea, I would shake your hand and ask for your autograph. If you, like, rode in here on a tornado, that would be, like, the coolest thing ever. Hello, humans of Earth. Hello! When we grow up, we realize many things. If we are brought up good, we deal with them. If we aren't trained well, all hell breaks loose. Yes and no, in my opinion. I agree that if we're brought up well, we... Like, one of the things that that is your parents' job is to try to prepare you for how awful the world can be. And part of their job is to try to teach you how to cope with things, you know? Tornadoes have passed. I hope so. But I think on the other hand, if your life is too easy, or too happy, like if your parents provide you with a life that's really, really pleasant growing up, I think that can like rob you of the opportunity to grow a lot as a person. Like, my parents, one of my parents did their best, one of them did not. That's all changed, of course, but neither of them were ready for kids. One of them was a very angry child when they had me, and for a long time afterward. And the other one was just somebody who never wanted kids and was terrified, but resolved to do their absolute best. You know, since they suddenly had a tiny human being they were responsible for the upbringing of. So, for me, the fact that my childhood was not happy because my parents' marriage was very unhappy, because of a whole lot of things going on, because I had some hardship growing up, and the people have, of course, gone through things far more difficult than I have, but I'm an extremely sensitive, kind of like fragile person, to kind of make myself sound pretty bad, but to be perfectly honest, that the things that I went through were really, really hard on me, and were really difficult. But I think that those hard things, the fear and the sadness and the anger and all of the negative things I went through when I was little, I think they made me a better person, because they made me more compassionate. They made me able to recognize and be familiar with sadness to where I could see it in other people, and to where because of what I went through as a kid and growing up, I don't ever want anybody else to go through that same stuff, you know? And you can't make life happy for everybody. You can't make childhood happy for everybody. But just because of what I went through, and most of life has been unbearable for me, I want to do everything I can to at least let other people and let kids know that they're not alone, that other people are going through similar things, and that life can and will get better, and that you have to believe in yourself. So I think, I think it's important that parents teach you how to cope with life. It's important that they prepare you for life, because life can be completely horrible, at times. But I think when you grow up in a household that's really, really sad, or full of violence, or just like money troubles or anything like that, I think one of the things that can happen to you is you can choose to do everything within your power to make that not happen again. You can learn from the mistakes of your parents and be a better parent, or just a better person. You can learn from their financial mistakes and know what not to do. You can learn from their relationship mistakes, and you can be able to see those warning signs in yourself and other people. Things like that. But then, of course, the other side of the coin is that a lot of people who grow up really unhappy because their parents don't do a good job, or because of any reason really, a lot of the time they just do the same thing. Some people don't ever even realize that they have the power to stop the cycle, whether it's like alcoholism or money problems or abuse or like adultery or anything, selfishness, materialism, whatever the heck it can be. Some people never even realize that. Some people never recognize that they are given an opportunity to completely change things and stop that cycle from happening to more people into the next generation. And even if you recognize, like, this is what my parents are doing wrong, or this is what the people around me are doing wrong, even if you decide, I'm not going to do this, and I'm going to be better, and I'm going to learn from this, you can want that, but it takes constant vigilance. It takes trying and trying and trying and never giving up, and it takes all of your effort, and it takes a willingness to see your own faults and to be able to see the mistakes your parents made in yourself, and to admit that those things are in you and that you've learned them and that they're ingrained there. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of humility and just constant vigilance to actually succeed at stopping the cycle. Whatever the unhappy thing was that happened when you were a kid, it takes everything in you, every second of every day, trying your absolute hardest to break whatever cycle you're in, to be better, to not go on autopilot and just live and exist the way you saw as the only way to live and exist when your parents were your example growing up. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm a little intoxicated. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? My favorite thing is when people say something and it makes absolutely no sense, and then they're like, do you know what I mean? And you're like, no. I don't know what you mean. I don't. Sorry. The respell I'm passing the story. My looks are more like my mother's side of the family. For that, my father's mom hated me, and that hate traveled into my 3 siblings. Good thing my childhood ended. I'm glad your childhood ended too, and I'm glad that you're here. You know, I mean, obviously I don't know you, so that's probably going to sound stupid and insincere, but I'm so glad you made it, you know. I'm still getting to that point myself where I think it's worth it to have not killed myself, or at least tried to, but I'm finally getting to the point where I believe that it was worth all of the suffering I went through to be here now. And I hope you're to that point too, and I hope that, you know, you can find some peace and happiness, and I really hope you can take all of the difficult things you went through and turn them into something wonderful that makes you happy and makes other people happy as well. Friends network unreachable. So now you get better. Yeah. Hi, White Squall. Hey, I see you had an impromptu scream in the title, but when was the last time you had a non-impromptu one? An excellent point. This is very true. To be fair, White Squall, there was a time when I tried to stream. It was about a year ago, if not over a year ago. I actually tried to schedule my streams. I streamed about every Tuesday. I think every Tuesday, and then either Saturday or Sunday. Every week I tried to stream. And for a while I actually did adhere to that schedule. But I work a lot more hours than I did last year, and I'm a bad, lazy person. So that's why all my streams are impromptu now. But there was a time, my dude, when I actually was on a schedule. Like somebody who actually cares about their channel and their wonderful subscribers, and like someone who actually wants to do this for a living someday. What in the hell? Where's everybody coming from? Hi, friends. It's time to kick the world in the rear for me. Do it. You kick that rear as hard as you can, buddy. Hi, Gonzo Duke. That burp gave me an erection. I'm so happy for you. I'm so intoxicated that I don't remember burping. You missed some things. This stream is impromptu. Could it be I'm awake early enough to catch a stream? Oh my god, I'm so happy to see your cheesy tits. I still didn't do a very good job. You know, I just mentioned you guys in a tweet like right when I started streaming, but I want to at least do that in the future. But I'm going to try really hard to schedule my streams ahead of time so I can warn you guys at least a couple hours before. Of course, as I've said a squillion times, I don't care if you're here live. Like, people always apologize, and you don't have to be here live. Like, you've seen this crap. You know you're not missing anything important or exciting or even interesting. But, you know, my thing is, I'm always excited when somebody uploads a long stream, and then I can watch it the next day. You know, I said this a little bit earlier in this stream. I can watch that stream like the next day at work when I'm doing dishes or laundry or just my makeup or whatever. I love having that thing to look forward to enjoy, to hear that person's voice and have something interesting to listen to. And because that's what makes me happy, I want to be able to do that for other people. Look, boyfriends. Aw. But yeah, I'm gonna try to be better about at least letting my patrons at the very least know that I'm about to stream. I'm from Pakistan, 11 a.m. Wednesday. I'm from the future. You are from the future. Oh my god. It's 2 o'clock in the morning where I am. So I am in the past. I hope where you are it's a bit brighter. You did miss all the Twisted Tea, Gonzo Duke. I've decided that I don't really like it, but this last, like, 2/3 of a bottle I haven't tasted, so it's fine. It's okay. It's so funny. It tastes great now. The first bottle didn't taste so good. This one tasted fine. Yay. I'm missing it all. You didn't. 2 bottles of alcohol. Go home, woman. You are drunk. I'm home. And yes, I am drunk. I am a strong, independent woman who will probably not be able to walk a straight line to get to the bathroom after this to brush my teeth and go to bed. Your burps are exciting and important. Don't you dare let anyone tell you otherwise. Thank you. I'd rather watch it live. Interaction is awesome. Yeah, that's true. Like, I have not watched a lot of streams lately, but it's so much fun getting to talk to the people that you admire or that, you know, you just like as friends. It's so cool to talk to them and have them actually see what you're saying and have them respond. So, you know, I know how that makes me feel, so it makes me really happy that we're a small enough group of people that I can actually hang out and talk pretty much with all of you. Now, obviously, like, I would like my channel to get bigger, and it is very gradually growing, but I feel like if I ever get to, like, 5,000 subscribers, I'm gonna really miss this, where, you know, it was just a pretty small group of us that were able to just talk, you know, to where the chat went slow enough that I could answer every one of your questions, or at least most of them, and, you know, it's like a group of us actually getting to hang out together and just chat. Brave and stunning burps. Indeed, White Squall. This guy, Dave, we like uploads 7-hour streams sometimes. That's crazy. For some reason, I have it in my head that 8 hours is the longest you can stream. Is that true, or is it long? It's probably a lot longer than that, but that's crazy. Like, I can see maybe doing a really long stream like that, like hours and hours, if you have co-hosts or a couple other people to carry the conversation. For me, like, the comfortable length of time for a stream is probably an hour and a half to maybe 3 hours. Like, there have been times when I go for 3, and because I'm such an introvert, because I'm just so shy and I'm so tired most of the time, going for like 3 hours is the absolute most I can do. But like, going any shorter amount of time than that just doesn't feel right. Like, I don't feel like I can get into the rhythm of things and really chat with you guys. You know, like, if you only stream for half an hour, one, I've got a very small channel, so I don't get a whole lot of people watching. Two, I don't schedule my streams, so it's just basically whoever happens to be free at the time who can show up. And three, when you stream really short amounts of time, people are going to keep coming in right at the end of the stream because they just now saw that you're streaming, or they just now got the free time to actually join. So I get it. I understand doing much longer streams, but for me, like, this is one of the best things for me to do right before I go to bed at night, as silly as that sounds, because it's so comforting and so wonderful to talk to you guys, and I feel so accomplished and soothed, and it's like, it's not like I'm doing something super intense like exercising when I'm streaming like this, but I'm doing something that gets out a little bit of energy, and it keeps my brain going and my body going just enough that then when I go to bed, I fall right asleep, because I did a lot, at least mentally, and I feel like I've accomplished a lot, and I feel like I've done a lot of work, and then I'm able to go to sleep. You're right on time to wish me a happy anniversary. Really? Aw, happy anniversary! That was very squeaky. Strong hair game tonight. Really? This is like 2 days of dry shampoo and anguish. 8-hour stream, then you have to start another one. Okay, I wasn't sure. You can stream for longer. Okay, I don't know then. We need to discuss Ahsoka versus Grievous eventually. That's fine, Nemo. It's someday. The channels we broadcast from webcams have now amassed thousands of streaming hours. Yeah, that's amazing to me. I know for a lot of people who have very small channels who are trying to get to monetization level, since you have to have a certain number of hours of watch time, streaming is the best way to do it, because like, if you do a video and it's sort of okay, people might watch the first 3 to 5 minutes of the video, or they might watch most of the video, and then when you wind down at the end and wrap up and do the like thanks, like, comment, subscribe stuff that you do at the end of every video, then they might leave. But when you're streaming for a long time, it's much easier to get a whole bunch of people to watch, you know, and watch a good chunk of the stream. So yeah, I understand now why people are doing a lot of that more. Oh, time for bed, adios. I'm sorry, I didn't see that, dude. Good night, dear friend. Sunday, question mark? What do you mean, Sunday, question mark? Sunday, question mark? We're going to talk about Ahsoka versus Grievous? Maybe. I'll let you know. I will let you know. But it's interesting how, like, when YouTube changed what requirements you have to meet to have your channel monetized, it totally changed the way that people run their channels, you know? Live streaming is much more popular now because it's so much easier to get to the number of hours you need. It's just, I don't know, it's very interesting, you know? Part of me doesn't think that the people who run YouTube realize just how much of a huge change it makes for all the people who create content. Every time they change their policy a little bit, you know, that changes people's lives hugely, especially the people who make a living doing this, or at least make part of their living doing YouTube videos. I can't get into long streams, White Squall said. I tend to want to watch anime or play a game after an hour or so. The only one I can watch all the way through is Matt Christensen's one, but that's not too long. I'll have to look him up. That's very interesting. Yeah, I know everybody's different. It totally depends what's going on. Like, I used to have a lot more time when I had more days of the week off and shorter shifts. Like, I would have more time where I would just want to sit. And, like, I like listening to a stream or something while I'm drawing or writing or just doing something like that, or cleaning. But with the way my schedule has been lately, I don't... Like, I might watch a 30 to 40 minute long, like, H2O Delirious video, but that's about all the longer I can go, and then I'm usually out of free time and I have to shut the video off, or I'm going so much and doing so many things that I want to switch gears and watch something different. You have great energy. Thank you. It looks good. I'm glad it looks good, because oh my god, that's nothing short of a miracle. Squeaky Morton, thank you. You're welcome. Fap for burp, no. 4,000 hours of watch time after that idiot Logan Paul fiasco. Oh my god, I hate him so much. He's such a worthless waste of space. I know that's a cruel thing to say, but I have no sympathy for Logan Paul whatsoever. Okay. Actually, my dear friends, pretty soon I'm gonna have to go because I'm tired, I'm super drunk. I need to brush my teeth and take my medicine and go Betty bye. But before we do that, One of the things that I wanted to bring up when I started this video, and then I got off on a tangent, shockingly enough, is these silly friends I got. I don't know if you're going to be able to see them. Let me try. If I put them up too close to the camera, the problem is it might focus. It probably won't. But what this is I got this for $1 at Dollar General or Dollar Tree or some dollar something cheap store. I got this today. This is totally random. But this is a tiny egg. The label on this says Mini Adventure Pals. And what is in the egg? In fact, it is indeed Mini Adventure Pals. And they are tiny, tiny microscopic dinosaurs. And, oh my god, they are the greatest thing I've ever discovered in my life. Like, look at these little dudes. Look! It's a stegosaurus. It's the tiniest stegosaurus I've ever seen in my life. It's so cute. It's so cute. And, is it a brachiosaurus that they've discovered is not a species anymore? It's not a brachiosaurus, but whatever they are now, it's one of them dudes. They're so cute. I love them. Anyway, this is, oh my god. Oh, they're, okay, they're flying everywhere. I know it's extremely silly, but I wanted to share these with you. They are so tiny, and they feel like little erasers. They're like really, really like delicate, fragile plastic. But they're just these tiny dinosaurs, and I love them. They were $1 at Dollar General, I think. And they're, what does the label say? They're my Mini Adventure Pals. That they are indeed. They are my Mini Adventure Pals, and we're gonna go on some mini adventures as pals. And they're just so cute and silly. I had to show you guys. Matt Christensen's one is called Beauty and the Beta. Oh, it's him and Blonde in the Belly of the Beast. Okay, yeah, I like her. She's pretty far right, and he's more centrist. What I've seen of her, I like. She's kind of like spooky, borderline ethno-statey at times from what I've seen, but obviously that's just my perception from seeing a few videos of hers. I'll have to look her up and watch a bit more. But I don't know if I've ever heard of Matt Christensen, so I'll have to see. I'll have to look him up then. Okay, I would pay $3. I know, like, are you kidding me? They're so silly and so cute. I love them. It's like a tiny egg full of tiny dinosaurs. I love tiny toys. Are those the ones that grow up in water? Actually, I mean, I could put one in water and see what happens. But I don't think they are. I think they're just like the same like material that they put into molds to make erasers. I think. I want to roll around in a pile of those. Heckin' adorable. I know, right? Oh my god, they're so silly. You are adorable, never change. You are silly. You are silly. I am not adorable, but thank you. Since you like cute things, Love Me Again, Nescafe Basement, a song for you. Okay, thank you. I'll make sure to look that up before next time. They look like they're meant for kids in an age you wouldn't give kids small enough to swallow. I know, right? Like these, I love toys this small. When I was little, I had a collection of tiny plastic horses that were that big. And I know they used to make like little Polly Pocket dolls that were that big. But it's like we've kind of, that era has ended where we play with microscopic toys because they always get lost. Your child or like your puppy or somebody eats them. They end up embedded in the sole of your foot by accident. And I don't know, I'm obsessed with teeny tiny little things like that. Tiny toys, tiny furniture, tiny food, just teeny tinies. I love them. So I was delighted and shocked when I found these little dudes at the store. They're so cute. Blonde Fuhrer is bae. Yeah, well, I'll have to watch her. Blonde is a little too right for me. Yeah, she might be for me too. I'm actually surprised. Like, the more I learn about myself and the more I like read up on and listen to other people's views, the more I realize that I'm not as right-leaning as I thought. I mean, I'm definitely I'm definitely right of center. I'm sorry, but I'm far less right-wing than I used to think I was as far as American politics. I'm more of a social liberal. I just want people left alone, you know? I think that the most constitutional thing to do most of the time is to just leave people alone, you know? Let them be. She does get that way sometimes. She also thinks that women shouldn't be able to vote because they tend to vote socialist/communist, lol. Bit out there, but it's a good stream. I'll have to look into it then. Yeah, that's something that bothers me too, how women tend to be more leftist, because obviously I'm a right-winger. I think that right-wing opinions are correct. Obviously, I can't see past my bias on this, because I think that what I believe is right, you know, beyond a shadow of a doubt. But it is distressing to me that women tend to vote more like leftist, because it makes it seem like women vote more based on emotion than on logic. And that sucks, you know, because like so many leftist feminist women are trying to disprove that women are emotional and nurturing. They're trying to insist and prove that women can be just as calculating and rational as men, yet they vote based on anger and like really, really cheap scare tactics. So it's a little ironic in my opinion. No one in the U.S. will ever get close to communist. They don't get lost, they get lodged in the esophageal tube of infants. That way you always know where to Yeah, if you ever get bored and need a toy to play with, just do the Heimlich on your toddler and voila. Leave people alone. My presidential campaign slogan 2020, make it happen. Yes, exactly. Thank you. I don't want to be judged when I'm writing Dead by Daylight fan fiction in a little dark corner. I just want to be left alone. I'm a social liberal with libertarian tendencies. That's probably about where I fall, Gonzo Duke. And our dear beloved fracking and fun guy coming in with some poignant departing messages, I think. Yeah, let's not talk politics here. Politics is a poison which only benefits the politicians. The rest of us get screwed evenly. That's very true. It's funny. It's like one of the scare tactics that both parties tend to use, and social influencers and politicians tend to use in both parties, is trying to tell people that the rich, the evil, you know, rich old white people are the ones who are benefiting from this policy. But pretty much on both sides of the aisle, those are the people who benefit, you know. Regardless of what they profess to believe and care about, it all goes back to benefiting the same people. And as long as they're making money, as long as you find a position you can occupy that makes you money at the top of one of these political groups or social groups, it doesn't matter what ideologies are actually being pushed by that specific group you're funding or in charge of. What songs do you like? I'll name a couple, but I'm ready to wrap up for the night. I'm gonna head out here pretty quick. Right-wingers are always calling people commies, and SJWs are always calling people fascists. I know, it's really dumb. Like, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to point out how, like, progressivism, for example, it's pushing people toward communism, for example. But yeah, just flinging out the terms communist and fascist, it just devalues those things the same way as calling everything and everyone a racist doesn't help either. Fracking and fungi. I genuinely can't tell if this is like the most enlightened form of poetry I've ever seen, or if you're having a stroke. Either way, Godspeed. Keep doing what you're doing. I wish you the best. But yeah, it definitely doesn't help throwing the like political extremes around like that. It devalues them. It makes them meaningless and absurd, and it doesn't help anybody. What songs do you like? I don't know if I can name any songs off the top of my head. But as far as the music I like, it's kind of all over the place. It tends to be more like, it tends to be alternative, electronic, some sort of hip-hop type stuff, some pop, it just depends. Do I need to, like, mute fracking and fungi? Or, I mean, I listen to Bauhaus. No, okay, you can stay. Listen to Cat Stevens whenever you have time. He is the guy who said Father and Son. Oh, okay. He sang Father and Son song in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Okay, I'll look him up then. You listen to Bauhaus in your bathtub? Are you somehow getting off on the fact that I'm making a puzzled face and reading your words out loud? If so, hell yeah, man. You make me seem normal in comparison, so I can't knock you for that. I just like Radiohead. Yeah, the bands I like, I'll just throw a couple of them out there and then I'm gonna wrap up and go here pretty quick. I love Depeche Mode. I love U2. I love Purity Ring. I love Billy Talent. I love Curly. I love Seether. I love Coheed and Cambria. I love Nightwish. I love Within Temptation. I love some of Evanescence's old music. Who else do I like? Let me look up some of the music I've listened to the most, actually. I don't know how I feel about herself, but I like some of Melanie Martinez's music. I really like a band called Astra. Did I mention Coheed and Cambria? I freaking love Coheed and Cambria. Yeah, Depeche Mode, I mentioned them. I love Hollywood Undead, actually. Curly is my favorite singer of all time. I love Curly more than anything. And the fact that she's finally coming out with a new album when I've been waiting for 10 years for her to come out with a new album is, like, better than anything I could ever imagine. I adore Massive Attack also. I love Massive Attack. I love Florence and the Machine. I really like IMX. You've probably heard of Sneaker Pimps, which is the band that came before IMX, but I like IMX more. It's the guy who was the backup singer from Sneaker Pimps. He broke off Chris Corner into his own band, IMX. Most of his music is about, like, drugs, dysfunctional, unhealthy relationship dynamics, and BDSM. It makes for some really good music, I must say. I also love the Glitch Mob. Who else? I mentioned Seether and Billy Talent. I don't know who else. Coheed. I love Coheed so much. I like a bunch of the very sort of cliche, like butt of every joke music, such as System of a Down, Breaking Benjamin, Mudvayne, Stained, etc. Bands like that. So yes, and a ton of music there for you guys. Mostly I love Curly, Coheed and Cambria, Purity Ring, Seether, Billy Talent, Hollywood Undead, Imogen Heap. Imogen Heap, I totally forgot Imogen Heap, and I adore Imogen Heap. Florence and the Machine, whatever. The only Massive Attack song I know is Teardrop, an interesting and beautiful track. Listen to, if you like Teardrop, listen to, I'm gonna cry. I can't think of anything else. The first song I ever heard by Massive Attack was Inertia Creeps, and it's like the best song ever for writing erotica. Listen to Inertia Creeps. Maybe try Angel. I don't know. You should look into some Massive Attack's other music. It's pretty cool. Nice to meet you too, Fracking and Fungi. I would suggest you look up Nescafe Basement in Coke Studio, Pakistan. Okay. Nescafe Basement is covers mostly. Okay, yeah, that's alright. I'll look them up then. Thank you very much for that. Hide and Seek by Imogen Heap. Such a good song. Gonzo Duke, if you like Imogen Heap's older stuff, you have to listen to her most recent album, Sparks. It's heavily influenced by Chinese culture and a lot of different Eastern cultures. It is the most beautiful album I've ever heard in my life. If you listen to Sparks by Imogen Heap, that album, that's all I will ever ask of anybody in my life. Like, if I can ask you to do one thing, listen to Imogen Heap's most recent album, because it's magnificent. It'll change your life. It's so beautiful. It's so innovative and so emotive, and I'm getting to the kind of sleepy drunk where I say every word from the dictionary in one sentence. You're welcome. Yes, do look up Massive Attack. It's very different. It's weird, like alternative hip hop music, but it's really cool. They're different, but I really like their music for the kind of writing I do. It's really inspiring. Check out Amaranth. Okay, there's somewhere along the lines of Within Temptation and Evanescence. Okay, I'll listen to Amaranth too. And hi Cabaret Macabre. It's nice to see you. Okay. Now that I've said all that, it's 2:26 a.m. where I live. I have to be at work at like 8. Go to bed. Yes, sir. I shall do so. Yeah, that's probably about it. I'm definitely going to wrap up here. So, yeah. Thank you for helping me get back into the swing of streaming. I have another video exported and finished that I'll upload sometime this week. And a couple more scripted that I'm going to be filming soon, so look out for those, everybody. Like, comment, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. And if you don't think that stuff is annoying, you can hit the notification bell if you want to get the emails to let you know. I try to post on most social media platforms every time I upload a video, so if you would like to follow me, Gab, Minds, and the official Facebook account for me as a YouTube creator. Those are neat. Those are pretty nifty if you wanna check them out. So, as always, thank you guys so much for showing up. You guys mean more to me than you'll ever know, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful day wherever you're at. Obviously I had some alcohol, so I'll go back through, I'll read all of your suggestions of channels to watch and music to listen to tomorrow, just to make sure. Yeah, you can check out my Instagram too. It's linked in the description here, I think. And yeah, that wraps things up, I believe. So that's about it. And until next time, I hope you're having a wonderful night or day or whatever, morning, evening, etc. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.